Welcome to the Michael Santos Mindset. I'm really enthusiastic to be sharing with you a couple of strategies that I am using to continue these preparations for success. And if you've got a success mindset, you might want to listen to the different strategies that I use that help me build assets worth more than $5 million within 5 years of getting out of prison. You may want to think about how can I use these principles of us having a success mindset to build more fulfillment in my life. Maybe not only earn more money, but to make you feel more fulfilled. And you know how that really works? We build more fulfillment when we keep everything we say, everything we think, and everything we do in harmony. That's a lesson that I learned from Mahatma Gandhi when I was still going through 26 years in prison. I had to always be thinking about, how do I want to get out of this environment? What resources can I use right now to begin positioning myself for more success? That's what a success mindset is all about. But I had to go through it in incremental stages. As I look back, I can see that many of the decisions I made very early on in the journey put me into a position for more opportunities that I could pursue day by day by day. And for me, it began many decades ago at the start of a prison journey that would keep me locked up for 26 years. But because I had this success mindset, I could tune out the negativity. I had a reason to focus only on what steps I could do to begin sowing seeds for the better life that I wanted to lead. And for me, a better life meant when I come back to society, I want to make sure that I can go into any environment. Nobody's going to know that I served a day in prison unless I told them. Now, as is obvious through my podcast, through all of my work, I built my entire career about my prison journey. So I'm not ashamed to talk about the fact that I made some really bad decisions when I was 20 years old. I'm not ashamed to talk about the fact that those bad decisions led me into the prison system for 26 years. The reason that I am not ashamed is because I can look back and show other people that the decisions that I made when I was inside of that prison system really put me on a pathway to success. It opened a lot of opportunities, both while I was inside and then when I came home. And one way that I tried to bring value to society is by showing more people how you can begin sowing seeds for a better life, regardless of what you're doing today. That if I could do it while going through 26 years in prison, I have no doubt that any other individual can do the same thing. It doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen by talking about it. You've got to be thinking every single day. That's what a success mindset is all about. And in this podcast, I'm going to tell you about how little steps connected the dots, opening opportunities for me along the way. Now, the first step was to make a commitment to educating myself. I don't know what level of commitment you make to investing in yourself so that you can learn new concepts, so that you can become more successful. But early on in my journey, I knew that I was going to be in prison for multiple decades, and if I did not invest in myself, I would walk out of prison with the mindset that complicates success for so many people who come out of that environment. So while I was in prison, I invested in myself. I started reading. I started investing time to learn how to write. I started investing time to learn how to speak better. I started investing time to develop my vocabulary. I started to invest time to learn about business. And all of those investments later paid off in a huge way. How? Well, I earned my undergraduate degree in prison through that strategy, all part of a success mindset, all part of a disciplined path that would put me in the pathway of success. I opened publishing agreements while I was in prison. By opening publishing agreements with publishers that included Thompson Media, St. Martin's Press, Wadsworth Publishing, Greenwood Prager Publishing, I built a support network measured in the hundreds of thousands of people. My work while I was in prison was covered by the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times. All of that I could leverage to build new relationships that could lead to new business opportunities. As I moved through multiple decades in prison, my final decade in prison, I went to minimum security camps, and I started to apply the skills that I had developed to write more content for other people. Some of those people were white-collar offenders who went into the prison system, and I helped them understand how they should be telling their story. If they didn't tell their story, their record would always reflect only the prosecutor's version of events, and every individual has a story. Many people go into the prison system without a criminal mindset, but circumstances put them in the crosshairs of the government, and they make a series of decisions, and before they know it, a successful life is disrupted. And my role was always to try and help people whose lives were disrupted to figure out, how do I get back on course? How do I reconcile and start writing the next chapter of my life? And through that process, because I had earned an education while I was in my early years, and because I had several publishing credentials, I was able to negotiate several ghostwriting opportunities that generated resources and revenues that would help my transition back into society when I came back. And when I came back, because I had invested all of that time, again, with a success mindset, I had opportunities to begin a speaking career where I spoke at UC Berkeley. And here you see I'm wearing this. If you could see this on video, some of you are listening on a podcast, some of you are watching on a YouTube channel. But if you could see my shirt, I'm wearing a Stanford University shirt. And it's because soon after I got out of prison, I had opportunities to go speak at Stanford. I was invited by a Nobel Prize winner, Professor Joan Peter-Celia from the Stanford Law School. And I several times went to Stanford, got to address some of the brightest minds in the country, and share the strategies that worked for me of what it meant to have a success mindset. That's what made all of the difference for me in prison, was that I sowed seeds very early on that would put me on the pathway of success. Then when I came home and I had to learn new skills, such as how to make a YouTube video, how to make a podcast, how to build a website, how to write a blog, how to do some basic search engine optimization, how to edit a video. These were all tools that I could use to accomplish two goals. One, teach and inspire more people how to overcome struggle and prepare for success. And two, begin building my career as a real estate investor. I had to create all types of content and videos and audios that would help me make a more persuasive case of why people should invest in me, even though I was in prison for 26 years. And I've raised millions of dollars, acquired millions of dollars worth of assets that have resulted in me earning a substantial income for somebody who came out of prison. Now, to build assets worth $5 million may not be that much for somebody who's been out working for multiple decades, but when you consider that I am a convicted felon, I was in prison for 26 years, and I was starting without a track record of functioning out here in society, I consider that to be a stepping stone and something that I can continue to use to leverage new opportunities. I use the experience that I developed while I was in prison of creating opportunities out of nothing. I leveraged those opportunities to show how that experience put me on a pathway to build $5 million in assets within 5 years of getting out, even though I had a 000 credit score. And then I use that as a case study that will allow me to create new opportunities. And those opportunities can include raising new capital for investments. They can also include building client services work, where I create products and services for business owners who want to spend their time, understandably, investing in their business, but they need somebody else to help them think in an innovative way to reach more people, to bring more awareness to their business in the marketplace. All of that is part of a disciplined, coordinated strategy of a success mindset. And it's what I hope that those of you who are listening to the Michael Santos Mindset podcast, or watching this on YouTube, or following my channel at michaelsantos.com, or on Facebook, or anywhere else, I'm hoping that you can say, these are some principles that I can use to build more success in my life. And you can apply these principles in every area of your life, whether it is your commitment to fitness, whether it is your commitment to building a better relationship with your family and friends, whether it is your commitment to overcoming some type of a substance abuse challenge, whether it is your commitment to advance your career in the job market. The whole process of success begins with this very simple lesson that I spoke about at the very beginning of this episode, and that's keep everything you say, everything you think, and everything you do in harmony. If you are committed to building a life of success, make sure that your words align with your actions and that your actions and your words align with your thoughts. And that is the way that you create more opportunity. Don't talk about wanting to become successful. Engineer a path that will lead you to more success as you define success. Because every one of us is an individual, and every one of us will define success differently. As I read, I don't remember which guru I read or mastermind I read while I was in prison, but I remember a contrast when you were defining success. You could take somebody like Donald Trump, who has reached a level of success in his world as he defines success. I don't care what your political beliefs are. You can look as he defines success. He has achieved the highest level of performance. Not only did he build assets worth billions of dollars, he reached the highest level of political office. Take somebody else like Mother Teresa, who obviously also reached the highest level of success as she defined success, right? And how did she define success? By helping the poor, helping more people come out of poverty and become more self-reliant and resourceful and spiritual. Well, you could take those two characters, Donald Trump on the one hand, Mother Teresa on the other hand, and if you interchange them, would they both be successful? I don't think so. Both of those people define success differently, just like you may define success differently from me. My whole goal coming out of prison was to be able to live as a fully functioning American citizen that other people looked at as somebody who could contribute and bring value to the lives of others. So every decision I made inside put me on that pathway. That meant I had to be thinking about how am I going to raise resources. If I want to raise resources to invest in real estate, then I had to be thinking about what steps could I take to put me on that pathway. Some people may not see the connections between the different decisions that I made, but every decision that I made was part of an engineered path that would lead me to becoming the person that I wanted to become. Somebody who could provide for his family, pay taxes, build a prosperous retirement, even though I made so many bad decisions when I was 20 years old. If you are interested in building a pathway to success, develop a success mindset. Lead a values-based, goal-oriented, disciplined, and deliberate pathway. Make sure that your decisions align with what you say is important. And if you do that, you are going to bring more prosperity into your life. You are going to build self-esteem. You are going to build confidence. And you are going to know that you are the captain of your own ship, the CEO of your life. That is the pathway that worked for me. And I'm absolutely confident it is the pathway that can work for you. I'm really hoping that you are finding some value in this message that I'm trying to disseminate through podcasts, through YouTube videos, through Facebook, through michaelsantos.com, and I'm hoping that you can use this message in your own life. Please subscribe to the channel. It's really simple to do. Just hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening to this. If you have an opportunity to leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you and love to interact with you. I want to share the strategies that are working for me because I'm absolutely confident they can work for you as well. Thank you.